Then we picked the laptop because there are some softwares that can't work with a phone. So the laptop actually works better for us.
Okay. Thank you, Grace. And thank you, everyone who presented. At least we said something, right? We said something, right? Okay. So briefly, from what is there anybody who wants to counter whatever any other group did? A group went ahead with my small money and they bought share. They bought share in this life. Small budgets. They bought share, right? But I've also seen that most people, we realize that data is an essential, right? And so between the arguments around should it be phone, should it be a laptop, I like the speakers who were able to state their reasons, their why. Someone said, we decided that even this our remote work is going to be graphic design, right? And if it's graphic design, we're going to be needing a laptop. And that's why we chose that, which sounds, it sounds good. Now, I'm surprised that nobody picked a power bank. Was it the cost? Please, can you unmute and speak to me? Was it the cost? You just trust Nigerian lights, or maybe you're in the abroad as we speak. You're just learning remotely with us. Yeah. Nobody bought power bank. Because if I use Grace's argument, she said we have some things before now. So she does not have a phone before now, but I'm listening. Yeah? I'm listening.
Okay. All right. Okay, actually, it's the reason is this, scale of preference. Scale of preference. You have 20,000 naira.
Who's speaking?
Imagine you getting a mobile phone and a Ifedayo at the banjo.
Okay.
Ifedayo. Now, imagine
so
you get a mobile phone and a power bank.
Yeah.
Nigeria does not have a free Wi-Fi also, ma. So it's just scale of preference. And imagine you getting a, let's say, data and power bank. Where's the mobile phone or laptop? It's useless. It's just scale of preference, ma. That's it.
Was it possible for us to lend these things, or it was because there was none of that option? For instance, I may be using a laptop that is borrowed. All I have to do is make this class work. I have all of 40 minutes and I'll be out of here. Is it possible? Yeah? Well, whatever it is we decide, don't forget that this class exercise was supposed to get us thinking. Some things that jumped out at me: scale of preference. Some people who spoke earlier too talked about contingency. Why do you think projects fail? You just say, oh, ma, we need 10,000 naira, we get 10,000 naira. You've forgotten that in this same Nigeria that we are, or Africa as it is, you've forgotten that lights and power can just be a big challenge. You don't know if for me to take this class, you don't even want to know the magic I had to rot this morning. So basically, saying that scale of preference is a thing when you're budgeting and when you want to make your remote work effective. Because you see, you can have all of this planned. The person, I'm not making an argument for power banks, but you can have your laptop, have your data, and then light goes off. Like it just goes off. And so imagine that we have our foreign partners, they're right now, they are on, and this is the deciding deal. And then, hello, NEPA, Disco, or IKGC struck. These are things to think about, yeah? And the reason why I'm not saying this is a right or wrong answer is that as thinking humans, we're going to have to get to the point where we decide what works. At a point in time in life, I will say to someone, I'll be like, it is sloppy if I tell my client that my data, that I ran out of data. It's just sloppy. It's all shades of sloppy. It's not about, is it that their data does not finish or something. It does not, for what I planned for the, not level, for the level of work that I do right now, it is a sacrilege, actually. And so that means that for me, data is key. Being more important is for me to stay connected, which is why power bank is a big part of how I run my life. And in being practical, can everybody see? Right? I didn't buy small one, no. Let me tell you all those things that by the time they tell you the amp and the voltage and the meter. In short, he has 2 ports. Hello. He also has another thing like that can save battery extra. And trust me, Nigeria still finds a way to test for efficiency. But more importantly, I'm saying that power bank solves the power problem, yeah? And so it may be something we may need to consider. There are no right or wrong answers. And so very quickly, we will dive into class. So who can tell me from what we've talked about now, we now know that remote work, Grace has said he only has to be in the house. Is that it, Grace? He has to be in the house. You've not jammed the person who is doing IG live in their car. Okay, I was just teasing you. All right, so who can define for me remote work? What is remote work? I'd like your answers in the chat section, or you unmute and explain and define it. I'll be waiting. I'm not nice like this. So once I see everybody looking at me like this, I'm just going to wield my bully teacher thing. I'm just going to call us. Yeah? Who wants to define remote work? I expect a myriad of answers. Okay, thank you, Oluwatosin. Walking away from the traditional office space. I use checking my slides. Okay. Working style that allows professionals to work outside of a traditional environment. Great. Okay. Who else has a differing? Is there something we've not added? What does remote work mean? The ability to jump on your task at anywhere, at any time. Are you sure? Like at 3 a.m., you write on your bio, you said 24 hours availability, whatever it is you're doing, say 24 hours availability on your social media. A client just comes, company client, you are the social media manager. Company client reaches there, you're not there, you're snoozing, because it rained yesterday and well, there was traffic. So is it at anywhere, at any time, or within specified hours? Any other person with another explanation? Okay, remote working is a way of working outside the confines of an office. It's plenty grammar on this call. Okay, remote work is working outside the physical office space. Okay. All right then. So at least now it means that we get the concept, but I'd like still being practical. It means that if I wasn't the one taking this class, I'm thinking, okay, working offsite, yeah. I'm thinking, do you think that I'd be able to effectively be in this class and be in the market? Is it possible? Don't forget that the clause that I said is, what if I wasn't the one taking the class? Can I be inside this call, on this call, learning with us and be in the market? Is that effective? So what I'm typically trying to bring out is the off the typical working space, but in a conducive environment, yeah? So this morning now, since somebody in this class who was trying to buy oranges, somebody in their space, exactly. Baba Tokwe says it's not effective, yeah? There will be distractions. So typically remote working will take place, it will take cognizance of working in a place that is different from the typical office environment. I also think that within specified hours should be talked about, because you are all going to be in organizations where somebody sends a mail and expects you to respond at 12:02. Now, 12:02 a.m., midnight. Now, I'm not saying don't respond. I'm saying that, well, if you want to be the super efficient person, you may respond. However, can we define that any mails you get on or before 9 p.m. Nigeria, West African time, please respond before the next day or something? But basically, you want to be in a conducive environment when they are off the typical working space, yeah, and then being able to work from anywhere. All right. I'd also like to know, what are the benefits of working remotely? What are the benefits of working remotely? Please respond to me. What are the benefits of working remotely? All of us should just be going to work. No work from home. I'm going to have to call people right now. Kayode and Habib. What are the benefits of working remotely? Ejiro says to save costs. Great.
All right, Good morning, this Kadi.
Have we been saving costs though? Good morning. Who is that?
Kadi.
Amid. Okay. It saves company running costs. Who has children or nephews? Who knew when school online was happening? Did we save costs, Sha? Okay. We're still on the conversation. What other benefits are there for working remotely? What other benefits do we have for working remotely? I called 2 people. Kayode. Okay.
Hello, ma. Hello.
I can see Christopher too. What are the benefits of working remotely? Christopher and Kayode. Christopher,
Hello,
you may
ma.
want to unmute your mic, right? I need people to respond to me, please.
Hello, ma. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Working remotely saves costs.
Okay.
And it also saves the time spent commuting on the road going to work.
Okay. Okay. That's from Kayode, right? Okay,
From
I like
Christopher.
Ifedayo as in his benefits. Okay, from Christopher, all right, thank you. Ifedayo says helps against traffic hustle. Ifedayo, you a negotiator. Oh, as in that traffic hustle just it about sums it up, yeah? Okpayemi says comfortability and less work tension. Who said? Okay, less work tension, okay. Babatokpe says allows for better work-life balance. Yeah. Flexible working hours. Okay, Kayode says his network is bad. All right. It allows you to combine other gigs. We'll get to that point. I like the fact that we are also at least being sincere in this class, but that combined other gigs. We'll get to that point. Let me not jump over my slide, right? Okay. So what other benefits? I believe that we've run through our benefits. Yeah. So what do you think are the hindrances? What hinders remote work? What hinders remote work? Maybe I should phrase that better. What could act as a factor that could limit great network? Okay. All right. So there's network, there's distraction. They will work remotely by Nigeria network issues. Okay. Distraction. Sleep. Excuse me, out of the way. What's that? Sleep. Uncle, when you are working remotely, you are working. Do you sleep at work? Ignorance of what? Okay, not being up to date, not taking this kind of training and knowing what is required. Please don't sleep at work. Data, power supply, family responsibilities. I couldn't have taken this class in the room where I am now, in my sitting room. I couldn't have taken the class if my children were around. As in, that drift, they will start. Somebody pulled my nose. Somebody, there's always something. So distraction is a biggie, right? But family responsibilities, please tell them. For instance, you can't be on this call and your mom is saying, he's just pressing phone. Or your mom says, I want you to go to the market for me. You say, hello, mommy, I'm at work. And when I'm done with work, I will do your bidding, right? So remote work is work. As a matter of fact, technically it is more serious when you are away from your working space than if you're in there, because now it means like, oh, sorry, there's no traffic, there's nothing. So please, can you get quick to your deliverables? Yeah. So family responsibilities, lack of power or electricity. You can tag your door with something like do not disturb. Have you been to my house? Sha, yes, that's a very, I tried to make it obvious. So I was going to take this class and I had someone who was at home with me, even though my children had gone to school. And I said to her, you'd have to be in your room. And even though she gave attitude, well, she's in her room right now. Yeah. So it means that do not disturb is actually a key to being effective. Don't forget that when we work remotely, we also the whole point is that we want to work effectively, so that by the time we're done, our God does not say, maybe everybody should be coming to VI, you're in Arepo, you're in wherever, you're in Ogun State. And then our God says, no, everybody must come to Ajade, right? Okay. So what features do we need in a workstation? You know, an ideal workstation should have what particular features? Now, I'm not talking about our data, I'm not talking about electricity, but how should the environment be? Have you been in a Zoom session where you are seeing stack of clothes at the back like this? Stack and stack of clothes. So you're seeing baby toys, you're seeing, so what are the ideal features of a remote working space? Is my car good enough? Could I have done this call? You know, I work somewhere and I had to tell them that, sorry, I'm taking a class this morning and I will be coming in late because it's a shop floor and we could get busy. Yeah. So please, can you tell me from your understanding, what are the features of that your workstation, be it a room, be it your balcony, you know, your car. Some people actually work on the plane. It depends on what ticket you have, you know. If you're flying business, it's possible, yeah. So please tell me, please can we speak to me? It must be organized. Great. Okay. It must be organized and neat. Great. Yeah. Features, please, more features. Very quickly, free from noise. Okay, so I'll put that as quiet, organized. Yeah. Can we be practical here? Everybody's just doing one, as you know. So for instance, who noticed that as we started the class, I got up to go get, I noticed that people were presenting and I needed something to write on. And even though my laptop is here, I needed to jot. So I got up to get another added jotter and a pen. But what if I had thought about it ahead and I say that this is a class, people will be talking, I'll need to take notes. And so I must have a notepad, right? Good. It must be a serene workspace, a well-lit room. Okay. Create a workspace in your home out of reach from others. Hello, Okpayemi. Out of reach of others. Sorry. Where you stay currently, you have an exclusive working space to yourself. I just want to know. So I'm thinking the average Nigerian space, if you live with family right now, or you are a family person or whatever it is, you may have to share space. And like I told you, they'll still find a way to pop in. Mommy said you should enter. So we finding what works. If I wasn't taking my class in this location, I probably would be in a room in the house that I have designed, you know, to just be that way. Of course, just the person who is to get out of the way. Yeah. Okay, a clean workspace, well ventilated. Nobody has thought about the obvious one that Nigeria lets you remember. Yeah. What else should be there? Have you gotten to a place, you know, you are waiting on someone's in the reception of a particular office or library or maybe a hospital, and you know that it's not just some 30 minutes, I'll clock in now and I'll walk, and there's no charging ports. There's no charging. It's like you working, you finish church services, is Sunday socket as well, right? Even mosques, it's not like service or worship. This is what I'll do. Okay, adequate light, writing materials, very clean background, well ventilated. Please let us note, a power station for charging devices is a key. My battery is at 31%. If I am not close to a charging port, there will be issues before we finish this class because my battery could run down fast when I'm on a Zoom call. So it means that added to the features that we've listed, thank you, quiet, organized, well ventilated, furnished with a table and a chair. Oluwatosin said Nigerians and chargers, pocket stroke extension point, direct to cord. I am feeling like we made it in life. You know those things. As in, yeah, a typical workstation should have a table, a chair, and other extras. Okay. All right. Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me? Okay. Please let me know if you can hear me. You can hear me. Okay, great. Thank you, Christopher.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's breaking. Okay. Am I back on now? Okay. All right. So I would assume that, oh, I have a chilled soft drink. What's that? Chilled soft drinks, water, table, chair. Okay, the water parts, but chilled soft drinks, sha. Okay. You know, you're still taking soda. That's what that means. All right. We'll have this conversation after this class, right? Okay. So what are our basic remote work tools? Basic work tools. We talked about it in our groups. Basic work tools. Please respond. Unmute yourself and respond. Fahida said laptop. Yeah. Internet or power source. Yeah. Yeah. I'm listening. PC, power bank, fan, MiFi. Okay. Fan, MiFi. Okay. What else? A notepad. Correct. A pen. Correct. Excuse me. Okay. Everything we said here includes laptop. Nothing includes a phone. Calculator. Uncle Ezekiel is going for the kill. And then calculate the profit. Let's go, you know. All righty. What else? What else comes to mind? What else? What else? Okay, notepad, pen, calculator, light source. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is that all we would ever need in a virtual working space? Is that all we'll ever need? What else would we need if we have to work? Flipboard, maybe. Noise cancelling headphones. Give that guy one, correct, you know. For customer care people, yeah. You really don't want to be saying, hello, my name is Ade Tokubo, and I am here for Knowledge Exchange Center, and then you're hearing one neighbor's noise, yeah? So noise cancelling headphones, yeah. Great. Power source and headsets. All right. So it looks like basically we all know what we're supposed to be doing, as in what we need to have to ensure that our remote work goes on pronto, right? Now let's move on to the applications that aid remote work, the apps, and I'll be writing down. Please, can you talk to me? I'll need you to unmute your mic if you need to speak now. What apps do we need to have if we have to, you know, that aid remote work better? Maybe if I have my WhatsApp, maybe it's enough. Or do I need to add anything else? I said we should unmute our mics. Chidera and Faidat. Thank you. Please. Okay. Who's that?
Faidat. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Faidat. Yeah.
Applications you need.
Yes. You want to tell me? Yeah.
Office package, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Very important. You need Google Chrome. Like, you really need Google Chrome. You need video.
Okay. Really?
Conferencing app, whether Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams.
Okay. Conferencing apps. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
What other things do you need? Yeah. Someone says Zoom, obviously. Yeah. Conferencing app. What the other apps aid remote work? What other apps?
Need Adobe or Adobe Acrobat Reader for your PDFs.
Okay. Adobe Reader. Okay. Okay. That means you never checked the pronunciation of that thing. You do not know that tomorrow you'll be the one taking us this class. We are plenty in that. You say I've never had to call this thing out.
It's Adobe.
ask when the next facilitator comes, who knows, maybe to be your grammarian or your effective communication lecturer. Yeah. But really, most of these things, it's another part of just to pronounce right, because yet again, you could be the one presenting. Maybe you finally are efficient, you bought your data, and then you're presenting to partners. You know, you're the newest what's on the block, you're presenting, and then you don't know if you say Huawei. Who has ever had to call Huawei on the outside? Huh?
Yeah, wow. Hyundai.
Just let's die that matter. You see, somebody just said something now. Yeah, Huawei. Yeah, I was this advanced in life before I knew. I do things in retail and fashion, and so YSL. I did not know it was Yves Saint Laurent. As in, just in case you're on my team and you don't know that thing is not Yves Saint Laurent. Let's move on with our class and not be distracted, Sha. But important,
Hello,
very
ma.
important. Hi, yeah.
Yeah,
Hi,
this
who's
is
that?
Femi, ma. Femi Odukoya.
Okay, hi, Femi.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
hi,
good
Femi.
morning, ma. Yeah, this may sound
Good
somehow, but I
morning.
think you need a good playlist too to unwind after a long stretch of work.
Okay, let me hear
Yeah.
you. Let me hear you. What is Femi?
Yeah, I said,
What did you say? What did you say? Please, can you come again?
okay, I said I think you need a good playlist too to unwind after a long
Oh,
stretch.
a good, a good playlist. Okay, so well, Sha, you know there are allowable volumes even when you're at work. Those ones that you won't know
Yeah,
that music is playing. You'll just be there
yeah,
just to keep you, sane. And it's always very low, annoyingly so, especially if you like music. It could be like maybe
yeah,
you're normally on volume 36, they can say put it to 12, as in 12, legit. Like you barely
yeah,
hear.
sure.
But yet again, Ayefele and KSA
And
songs. Okay, so
and
I've
the
worked most
gbedu will
of
be
my
entering
life
your
on
body.
a shop floor, on a typical shop floor, right? Uh, you should be you'll be swaying your body. I
No,
like
I
this.
said that
I like this
the
participant.
gbedu go dey
But we're
enter your
not
body.
the bedu will be. Okay, so you also know that there are the kind of playlists that are appropriate for work, right?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Oh, exactly. So you don't want to do "Baby, Can I Hold You Tonight"? You don't want to put that on your playlist, yeah? You don't want to put
No
thank you.
stress.
So on my playlist, there's actually shop floor, there's worship, there's so that when I'm on the shop floor, if it's mostly it's always all those what's that guy's name? He's Daniel, like because up on the shop floor, it has to be upbeat. We're selling. The person who is not selling is doing something that relates to try to sell. Maybe he's doing a report. So it always is upbeat. But yeah, okay, somebody said Bamidele is a typical Yoruba man. Femi does not speak. Now that it is now music. Okay, but we've talked about the conferencing app. Sorry, back to class. We've talked about the conferencing apps. We've talked about the things we need, but we're not talking around, how do we do our voice recorders? Is this a regular? Is this a norm? My headphones, are there things you could use? Or could you decide that you don't even need earphones? Would it be effective? Please speak to me. Speak to me. Your e-jotter. Have you ever had to write notes, as in notes that that let me just just it now, so your e-jotter is there. Yeah. Okay. Google Sheets, Google Docs, Google Slides, yeah. Your social media apps. You finish something, they say share to everyone on the team right now. Your Gmail, your emails, yeah. So these are applications that aid remote work. Without it, you're just going to be there. You're going to say, so we have a Zoom. You won't be able to. There are some things that make it easier. There are people that before this new world order, if they see a Zoom link, they're just going to waka pass. And that is not good enough because our reality for today, our reality in today's world is what we're doing right now, right? I finished the whole class. Somebody said, yeah, how will you get there? How will you go to where you want to go and facilitate and still be able to make? I said, I'll be facilitating as I am, right? Meaning I don't need to physically come to a space to see you, except it becomes absolutely necessary, right? So now the very important one that I want us to take from this class, the do's and don'ts of remote work. The do's and don'ts. So we'll start with the do's. Can anybody help us? What are the do's of remote work? Thank you for Faida spelling who pronounced Adobe for me.
Adobe.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
So the do's and don'ts of remote work practically state do I've ever had to work remotely. Who is that? Please, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, Saida, some
Okay.
of the do's and
Okay.
don'ts.
Okay, Faida. So you said you work from home. When you work from home, what are the, as in, what do you basically generally think? Do you like working from
Yes, I love
home, or
working from
you
home.
like rather be in your workspace?
I love working
Okay,
from
so I
home.
like that, but okay. Thank you that you said that. But you see, when there was lockdown, did you feel that same way? When all of us had to stay at home for 5 weeks, was it just business as usual? Did you miss going to work? I'm being
Um,
practical here.
yes, I would miss going to work, but I didn't really miss it because of the
Okay.
traffic. Like Lagos traffic is crazy, so I
Okay.
really
Don't forget. Did not miss. Okay. So I want to share with us, I'm being practical here. Someone said working from home is flexible. Yeah. All right. But have you ever needed to be at work in a physical space in case your home is not conducive? And I say that nicely, it's not like somebody is stressing your life. You just know. So at a time, right after lockdown, I told my husband that going to a certain workspace that I used to go to twice a week is actually beneficial to my mental health. Did you get that? I don't know if you got that. So I'm trying to say, okay, so I play mommy at home. I have to do other things. I multitask. I'm finishing up a book. I'm doing this. And actually heading out to that space within an 11 o'clock to a 4 o'clock actually was beneficial to me. Yeah? Great. So that's me saying there may be reasons, which is why I said, if you know someone who has actually done remote work, was it convenient? Yeah, working from home could be depressing. Amanda allowed it to Amanda tell them, you just be there. You be like, now like this, we go day. You get, like, we can't go on like this now. Do you get? So what other things? Faida, you were the one talking to me about, it's easier, it's more convenient, as you don't have to deal with traffic. Yeah. Do the people at home, do they get that you're actually working? Has anybody on this call faced the situation where they just felt, and she just pressing phone.
that's the day when you said that mommy part, I was able to relate so well.
Yeah. Exactly. As in, you don't even know. I am an extrovert on the normal, meaning people energize me. I like this class that we're having, if it was physical, why? As I'll finish, my energy levels will be up, ready for the next productivity. Yeah. And so we just the house, we just depress something, and I was just there thinking, now like this week, this will just go already. Said, has there been anybody who has who has faced interference working from home? I want us to be practical. Have you faced interference working from home? You forget that your microphone is unmuted. Yeah, who is that?
It's Grace, ma.
Okay, Grace. Okay, so please tell me your experience. Tell me your
The
experience.
interference happens all
Yeah.
the time. Like, do something. They don't just get it. They don't get that you're working. They think you're playing.
Tell them, oh, my sister. you know, and when we say these things, I'm not trying to delve into another topic, but I'm on an inner circle of some coaches. And somebody said that while she was trying to build her life, all those purposeful coaching life, deep things, that her husband will come in and say, she's pressing the phone again. It means that these things exist, where somebody actually feels that you're faffing around because you're pressing your phone. Who on this call knows that at times something will happen if you're on your laptop, you look like an efiko, better than if you're on your phone? Who knows? You get. Meanwhile, I've been on my phone. As a matter of fact, let me just, because we're being practical here, my laptop battery, I discovered it had a fault earlier on Tuesday. I haven't fixed it. Means my laptop can only work in light as at this morning. And then I put on the gen for this class, and then my generator just went off, right? Does that sound familiar? The person who was asking us in that class is like, say, we're not going to get well. Yeah? So it means that these are real life things. It happens. Yeah, it happens. And so it can also be an impediment. But if we do not relate to it practically, we're going to think, now remote work, somebody told us that time that they're just going to be flexing, as in they'll just be flexing at home. Have you ever had to do remote work that you wished? I was talking to a brand team at a certain time. They said they can't wait to get back to work because their guy just does not get it, does not get that they have another life. And you're going to be facing these things at your workspace. Yeah, you're going to be facing somebody who feels, that mail read 11:16 p.m. Uncle, I was already in La La Land. I was sleeping, and it's my right to sleep. Yeah, like Grace said, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. Okay, Kyle, they said most parents don't get that there are opportunities online. You show them now. You show them that sorry, that class that I just did now. See, as in this is what it translated to. Maybe you two, you've just been, you collect your salary and you're doing your own alone. Now. Otherwise, they should feel, Tikayode, when he starts on that his phone thing, gas will be filled, everything will be sorted, even power bill, right? They should be, I have a brother who's a photographer. Once he's working, once he has a deadline job, we're enjoying, because now generator, the timing with which we on our gen, maybe it's 2 hours or 3 hours at night, is going to be more. He can say he has to work all night. Hallelujah. I said, please let people be coming with urgent jobs like that. So that we can just be slaying with, cooler ambience. Yeah. All right. So somebody is talking to me about the do's, right? The do's of remote work. Serenity, stay aligned with company culture, very important, sir. Very important. Dress and groom professionally. Use the video, even if it's uncomfortable for you, right? You know that. Thank you, Ezekiel. Who also feels that there are other do's. What else do we need to do when we are working remotely? What are other do's that we need to put in mind? I'm waiting, I'm listening. What are the other do's when we are working remotely? I'm listening. I'll start calling names. We're about to finish class. So please, can we make this as engaging as possible? Yeah, what are the other do's of remote working? I'm listening. Okay, so can we talk about our don'ts now? Please unmute yourself if you have to talk. Please unmute yourself if you have to talk.
Okay, ma. Oh, they don't
Okay,
have
who's
so much.
that?
Ifedayo, ma.
The don'ts are plenty. Okay,
Yes.
Fedayo. Let me grab my pen. Let me grab my pen.
You don't need that, ma.
Let me grab my pen, yeah? Okay, so I'm listening.
Okay. Don't eat wine in a class, or why having a session, or why working.
Don't eat while in a class. Okay, Ifedayo, please let me ask you a question. Have you ever had to, you're working 8 to 5. They said don't eat, Abby. And you know that yes, now there should be break, Abby. But have you ever had to? Somebody on this call is eating. I'm listening.
Okay, ma. Truth be told, ma.
So for instance, let's be practical. Is it also possible if you were at work, would you do lunch? Are there times at work when you feel peckish, where you've eaten in the morning, or you're just feeling like munching, right?
Yes, ma.
As a matter of fact, do you know what it is on my slide? You should eat well and get enough sleep. You know, so the eat well is a before actually, but just so you know that, I just wanted us to be practical. So should I still be practical? When we started this call, I had breakfast unfinished, and I knew that I can't even dare, you know. So immediately we went to our groups. Who remember that day that I was trying to tell me that would you want to be in their classes, you know, supervising? I'm like, no, now, I did not big boys and girls, please let them be there. We'll meet after the 10 minutes. What do you think happened?
Ah,
All right, oh yeah, let's continue our do's of remote work. I've not seen anybody actually say create a work routine.
God.
It means that if I am always at home, working from home, everybody around the house should know that between a certain time and a certain time, mommy is working, or my sister is working, or whoever it is at home with me, wifey is working at this time. So you don't get to say, did I not say what are the things that are occurring in the house? So you say, did I not say somebody is greeting outside? Have you seen things like that? You're working, somebody passes and they start maybe on your corridor or balcony, the person vexes that you're not responding. Yeah? So the person, if you live around where I live, forget it, you even make enemies. So just sit inside your house. Don't go and be doing all those balcony workspaces. So creating a work routine is a very important part of work. You want to say at 9 a.m., I will be seated. I will not get up till maybe we do all those 30 minutes and get up. When I get up, maybe just for washroom breaks or something, every maybe 45 minutes, I would exercise my legs. Yeah. However, everybody knows somebody wants to talk to you. They understand that. Wait another 30 minutes. You'll be able to just tell her something. Yeah. Take breaks, which was part of what I was saying. Take breaks. Otherwise, you can be on your system, almost hunched, working because you want to be effective, and you do not realize that remote work is actually work and it can be tasking. You can do 8 a.m. and not finish till 5, in which case you're supposed to get up and move around at some point. What other do's are we forgetting? Plan your task. So while it looks like the work routine is actually a planning your task, if I'm a maths person or I'm dealing with figures, I may want to do that very early. Yeah. But somewhere in the midst of that task, don't forget that when I plan my task, I probably also need to communicate with my team. So a big part of remote work that we don't get in this part of the world is that you communicate regularly with your team. Have you seen somebody trying so hard to say, I was online, I was working from, did you reply any emails? If you did not reply any emails, hello, you were not at work. Because if you were at work at that same pace, that's how work will be going. You want to say, oh, it's COVID, our office is being compliant. I had to move from Lagos. I've gone to Port Harcourt to be with the family or something. You want to communicate regularly with your team. It is a no-brainer. It should happen. But here in Nigeria, you see, or Lagos, you see somebody say, I did what I was supposed to do. Like if I'm a customer care person, when they didn't call, are you communicating with your team? Are you having scheduled reports? Maybe I tell my line manager and I say, oh, it's been 1 hour and I've gotten 6 calls. Or it's been 1 hour, I've done so, and so. Don't forget that visibility is a big part of how you stay effective, even in remote work. Visibility. You saw that part there, they say use your video. As you use your video. Okay. Because that's how they'll say they didn't see you now. Then what else do you want to do? You want to eat well and get enough sleep. Have you seen somebody on a Zoom call looking like this? As in, you know that these people, they did not sleep. They thought we can party all night now or whatever and do all night and then come to work the next morning because it's remote work. Okay. So what are our don'ts? We'll be rounding up class very soon. What are our don'ts? Please start preparing your questions or your contributions. What don'ts? What are the don'ts of remote work? What are the don'ts of remote work? What are the don'ts of remote work? I'm listening. Please, you can unmute. Okay. What are the don'ts of remote work? Nobody's answering to me. I'm checking chats. Please unmute and speak to me. Just mostly do the opposite of do's. What is that? Please, can you tell me the opposite of the do's? What are the opposites now? What are the don'ts? I need somebody here leaving this class knowing for free that, now I just don't abandon your job to settle personal jobs. Spot on, brilliant. Do not work from your bed. Tell them, Okayo de Oshekoko, right? All right. Don't abandon your job to sort personal jobs. Yeah. Do not try to work from your bed. Okay. What other thing? What other thing? What other thing? What are the don'ts of remote working? People are not saying, they're not inside this class, people they are coding. They're coding themselves. Do you know how easy it is to get distracted by social media while you're forming remote working? You just go, you see that your classmate that you thought will not make it. Not only have they made it, they are now in the abroad. In the abroad does not translate to making it, but they are balling on the regular. So you see them, lockdown has just finished. They're already in one beach island. Yeah. And so you just move from the pictures they posted, spams, you land in Japan, you land in that hotel, you're daydreaming, you're wondering when you will make it. You're just there. You're supposed to be working, right? Like the person who asked you to work from home actually factored in that. Thank God you will not be on traffic. And so a whole maybe 1.5 hours to and fro is already out of it. And then you are there. You just say, let me just check what's trending on Twitter. Or you say, Big Brother season finale is this week and we must vote. So distraction is a big part. So when you're working, you tell yourself that I am working. If I was working at work, would I even be able to open my social media apps? So you say, do you know that if you're on LinkedIn, that is a professional platform, during work hours, you're wrong. You're very wrong, because that's when you now see, congratulations, somebody just became something, head country director, something. You now say, let me go and check this hashtag. From there, you now go and read one article on Medium. That is not the time. You're working, right? So don't be distracted by social media. Don't let the day slip away without getting tasks done, right? Don't let the day slip away without getting tasks done, because that's the easiest. You just say, I sat here, I'm looking at the time now that, did we not start at, we started at 10. See, the day has almost finished. Not literally, yeah, but the day is going fast. So don't let the day slip by, which is why if you have tasks scheduled, if you have your work routine mapped out, if you plan your task well, you know that between 10 and 12, I'm supposed to be talking to our people from GAP, from the Knowledge Exchange Center. That's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah. Once I'm done with that, this is the next set of things I'm doing. Any other thing, you just wake up, you just look up, it will be 6 p.m. Yeah. What other thing? Don't binge eat. Who knows what that is? Don't binge eat, because you're seated, it's so easy to, let's say I have snacks on my table, I have, so I'm just going to be picking peanuts and, picking cake and just trying to guzzle down soda. And don't binge eat. It is work. If you were at work, are you going to be eating that frequently or that regularly? No. You would have a break time. So schedule it into your work schedule to say, at 1:30, I'm going to get up from, I resumed at 9, at 1:30, I'll get up, minus the few 5 minutes when you get up to maybe take your washroom breaks. When I get up now, I'm going to maybe make food, or I'm going to do food or buy food or eat food, and then you get back to work. So maybe from 1:30 to 5, you are back to work. By the time you are done, you should feel like you actually went to work, right? You went to work. So on this note, I'd like to open the floor for questions, but I also want to ask you honestly, okay, Twitter feeds, okay. Don't entertain guests while at home. In short, they should beat that person. Don't let icons, don't let icons distract you. Okay, thank you, everyone. So I'd like to ask very quickly in the comment section, did we get value from having been in this class? Did we learn any new thing? Has this class been of value to you? And I'll be waiting. Has this class been of value to you? Oh, Gabriel said yes. Oh, Ezekiel said premium value. Oh, I'm going to, all my bosses need to see this screenshot area. Like, I'm going to be working with shoulders this high. Thank you so much. You killed it. Thank you, Grace. All right, Princess said she got value, right? Fedayo said 100%. Very informative, very engaging. And the vibe, will share. All right. Do you think it was also practical? You know, because with virtual learning, we try to say all the nice things. You have a PowerPoint, you have a slide. Was it practical? Was it practical? Can you see yourself getting a job, resuming, and then they tell you 3 days remote work, 2 days normal work, and you know? Habib said, "Oh, I made your oh." Okay. Baba Tokwe said, "Beyond expectation." Obiageli, yes, practical and engaging, super practical. Day-to-day examples. That's it. Very practical. This class ranks among the top 4% of the interactive sessions I've had online. Okay, very practical. So let's calm down. Let's calm down. The way I was going, as if no, I'm going to go and use all these accolades. I just go and tell Buhari that sorry, you just got a problem solver. Right. Okay. Who knows? I could work with Buhari online, right? Is it not this Nigeria that wants to solve the problem? So now on to questions. The reason why I always ask for questions, Abib said yes, it was practical, especially with the use of examples we could relate to. Great. So the reason why I want questions from this class, even when you think you've gotten an outright understanding, is that there will be just that little bit. What do I do if this? What do I do? I mean, we live in real life houses now. If something happens, you know, there are instances when you're working and then something happens and then they need to actually free you, as in like you need to take permission. I mean, if we're working remotely, should that happen? Something happens. I can't have somebody in my house, maybe a senior citizen, maybe my mom is in her 70s and she's having a seizure or she's having a crisis. What would I do? I will verily do a mail, a very sharp mail. That's if it's not a text to my line manager to say, hello, I really need to be off work over the next 1 hour. Do you understand? Even if it's to call somebody who will take her. So please, can I have questions? Questions.
Hello, ma.
Questions, please. Yeah, I'm here.
I don't know.
Yeah, who's speaking? Yes, I can hear you well.
This Kayode, ma.
Okay, hi, Kayode.
So I think you forgot. Yeah, hi, ma. I think you wanted to say something as regards us combining other gigs while working.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank God it's coming in the question. So I was talking about, is it ethical and is it not ethical, you know? And that's a very tricky situation because even when I have other gigs, so let me talk about me. On some days, I am a retail manager. On plenty days, I am a facilitator. But somewhere in this life, all the people that told me that I spoke well, you must know that I talk somewhere for a living, different from this. So I'm a voice. I do voice artistry, right? But do you know that if I had to work from home for someone, I have to schedule the time such that if this is a voice recording, maybe I want to do a jingle or I want to do something, it has to be that time is actually for the person that paid. Because this one that you were talking, that you're talking about multiple gigs. That's how, you know, all those people that write, I can be your virtual assistant, executive virtual assistant too. They just told you online, you stroll to, who are the people that you guys will know? You stroll to maybe Niger Branch Chick's page. She's looking for a virtual media manager, 100K, but you just got your dream job in Accenture. And you're now saying, I can do it. You now take it. The job that Nelly wants is for you to verily sleep inside that internet, for you to be there at the click of a button. So do you really think that that's, as in being a virtual manager for someone else will not clash with your day job of maybe 8 through till 5 on another, as in of something that maybe you engage with customers? Are you saying you're going to be able to do another gig with it? Or, you know, moonlighting is different. So I do this during the week. And then on weekends, this is my dream of becoming a basketball pro. That's what I service. So basically, it is a kind of day. How many things do you think you can do together in that time space where you've been employed to do something, where your employer expects you at 8? Tell me how you manage it. Please unmute your mic.
Yes, I can hear you. Wow, I think that was a very difficult question to answer. But I think I'll just find a side hustle that would not really.
Okay. Tell me how you would manage day job. I'm a general manager at a retail site, yeah? And I do voiceover. I even MC. I can do this. I train. Yeah, wow. I'm listening.
I think that was difficult to answer. Except
You
if
know,
I'm having parties or maybe weekend, so I can just, I mean, I don't know, but I think that's very difficult to handle.
okay, your efficiency will mean that I'm ruling out that you can do multiple gigs. No, I'm not ruling it out. I'm saying that you can plan it. So for instance, I just told you that even though I could take this same class on my shop floor in Ikeja City Mall, I can take it because I'm not on the sales team. I don't need to sell to people. But while I'm behind the system, imagine that we're having this interaction and my shop floor will be selling now. So it means that I would distract the customers, I would distract the sales team just to be able to. So what did I do? I took time off work. I took it 2 hours away to say, within so time, I will not be at work, which is a honorable thing to do. What's the worst case scenario if I wasn't if I wasn't granted? They may say, sorry, in the time between 8 to 10, you will not be paid if you have to go. And it's just about understanding and knowing that, okay, because this class matters to me, yeah, right? All of you matter. Because this class matters to me, I boned my pay for 2 hours. Yeah, you don't believe? Okay. All right. So I think I answered that question on extra gigs, Friday. I want more questions, please.
Yes, man, you did, man.
All right. I'm impressed. Yeah. Okay. Who next? I'm going to call people because all the people that were saying I'm a vibe. Oh yeah, questions.
Sorry, ma. I need to clarify something.
Okay.
Did you actually let go of the cash for, let's say, part of the salary for 4 hours of hours? You're
Do
just
you
doing
think?
that.
Do you think it's not good enough? You don't sacrifices. You think it's not good enough?
No, Nigerians don't do that, man. That's
Okay, so typically I work in a place where I had told them about my other work, the things I do for a living, and I kind of negotiated my timing in such a way that I don't have to be on the shop floor, but I am also managing a team. So when general manager acts anyhow, the sales team person is there now. They already want to say that their leg, when they were coming, their leg now shook something. They now fell into the gutter, right? So I try my utmost best to say that when I'm supposed to be on the shop floor, I am there, no excuses. Not because anybody is going to drag me, but because that is what you do as a leader. What typically happens is that they too would pick up their slack, right? Because if I am away for 2 hours and I say, I had to come talk to some young professionals and this, they too, you think they don't know young professionals in their own life, right? So typical example yet again, yesterday, my sales team person who's supposed to be opening the door at 9 a.m. when the mall resumed, she called me to say, I'm a little ill, ma, and I will be coming in late. It was good that she told me, right? But just so you know that at times it's not okay to be ill or late because that mall, we actually get penalties when you don't open early. That's why it's a mall. It has to be active. I was coming yesterday, not because I was at work. I needed to drop something off work and I was coming in early. But I was feeling slightly under the weather. Those quarter to sore throats. I was just there. The third person who's supposed to be with her for the day, the second person, majorly working for that day on the roster, she's pregnant and she was just in her feelings, those first 3 months kind of feeling. So do you understand that we can't not be there? We can't close the shop because, so I said, well, I'd rather that we are all there managing the ill, managing the nauseousness, managing the sore throat, managing whatever, but please, my shop floor must be opened, right? So yes, I just told you now that if they say they will remove my salary, it's you people. At least now we know. Now we know that it's you people that caused it. Yes, another question. Exactly, no closing of the shop floor. Very important. We just cannot be there. Okay, who next? I'm going to ask questions. I have a barrage of questions, and I'm thinking that since we're all mature, you guys will ask me questions. Well, if you're forming non-maturity, it's not me. Yeah, you understood everything from this our work class. Okay, let me ask a very practical question. Okay, Oluwatosin said, how can one manage a boss that feels remote working is an excuse? I like this. That feels, this question is so spot on. You're welcome. Okay, that feels remote working is an excuse for 24 hours engagements. Also, how does one manage the depression that comes from remote working? Oh, Tosin, can I first hug you? Oh, I've been there. I understand. All right. So let's take it one after the other. At a lower level, I'm not sure how it translates each time you're trying to say, I was employed for 8 hours. I was employed from 8 to 5. It reeks somehow. And you may not even understand until you start your own gig. So, like I just said now, somebody told me, yeah, you have kata. Is it not flu season? Is it not raining? You get? So if you want to prove this was what I got, this is what is on my letter, it may just be tricky. And don't forget that even in life, you get what you sow. I'm not going to go on the preaching level with you guys. Let's just leave it at professional levels. But really, if your boss feels that remote working is an excuse for 24-hour engagements, I think a very diplomatic way, and I'm being sincere here, even though I'm in management, a very sincere example will be to say to your boss, maybe it's all those feedback meetings and all of that, somebody sends you a mail at 11. It goes unanswered because yes, people are supposed to be sleeping at 11 if they are not Lagosians, yeah, or something, so how can you manage it? I'd rather say something that shows that I actually, even during the remote work, my home is almost not conducive enough and I have to maybe go to the neighbors. Did you get that? So I'm not complaining, I'm saying that, thank God, sir, we're even doing the work. Yeah. He's saying, he's sending you messages at 12, 16 is, especially if you stay consistent. Don't forget that when you truly put in your work from 8 to 5, knowing that you can now answer WhatsApp, there's been that argument around when you're on holidays, are you supposed to be taking WhatsApp? People who drop their SIMs. They drop their SIM at work and dash the customer care person, the receptionist, when they are not going to be at work because no, I cannot come and die, right? However, you can say if my home is not conducive and I have my neighbor who lives alone, and so I can use his or her workspace, am I supposed to be there at midnight? No, now. So my laptop will be very off. I even put off my phone at night to sleep because I am a huge addict of the social media movement. Yeah, this one that I'm acting as if no, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. Hey, don't let me tell you how many accounts I have on Instagram. I'm just a virtual person. I'm just, some of us just find productivity. We have a way to manage it. God, even I get if I miss my Bible study, I can see it on social media. Hallelujah. Yeah. So this is me saying people will come up with all sorts. Yeah. So, but you can, if you stay consistent, if I'm your boss, if I'm your line manager, I would know if Ifedayo or Oluwatosin walked the walk in that space of time. In that space of time, then when they close at 5, are they available very randomly? I need to make an inquiry. Don't forget that the goal is to be valued because people are being dropped by the minute at workspaces. They just look at it and say, what were you cuckoo doing before? That's how COVID has happened. Maybe you should cuckoo go and sit at home, right? So you really don't want to be, I like being valued. It's one of my core values that if I meet you today, I'm going to say, hi, Fedayo, thanks for reaching out. I hope to be of value, right? So I really don't want to be the one who makes excuses, but boundaries, yeah? So any other question? Okay, we talked about the second part of that question. How do we manage depression? Please, can somebody unmute their mics and answer that question? Because it's deep. It's very deep. Go. How do we manage depression working from home? The entrepreneurs on this call will get my point. Yeah? You're there, you're forming, you're building a brand, you're forming, you're building a brand, you've gone to Faith Foundation, they've told you that, you've gone to EDC, we're going to break, I'm the X of Africa. Anything I do, I'm that spot number in Africa. But every day you wake up, you even tell yourself, like we're talking now, that you have a time where you're working. Let's say you say you're a consultant. And there are plenty of consultants in Lagos. Let's leave it on the side. Yeah, so you say you're a consultant. And so in the time, maybe my children have gone to work, some people have gone to work, I'm working. As in people are not even consulting the consultants. They're not even asking the auntie, this thing that you said you've learned for 10 years, as in, what can you advise me? It's not, even if it's pro bono, nobody's asking. How do you deal with it? And I'm going to be calling somebody up now since everybody is looking at me. Amanda has been quiet. Great. Amanda, please unmute your mic. Thank you. How do you deal with depression? We're being practical here. Don't come and tell me textbook. Don't come and tell me all this. So yeah, how do you deal with it?
Okay. Hi. I think basically what you can do is that just make sure you are taking breaks from work. Like whenever the work is overwhelming, whenever you feel you are going under already, you can just take a break, walk away from everything, and probably just take a stroll, maybe take yourself out or call a friend, just lifts your spirits.
How is it looking like? Who wants to be a millionaire now? Call a friend.
For me,
right?
For me, when
Right.
I like taking probably sweet things like chocolate or ice cream. So if you are someone like me, then you can just out and just take something sweet.
And just grab a bite. Be looking at the salary. Okay, but let us still be practical. What if you like people? So I love learning. I like being in learning spaces like this. However, it took COVID to make me realize that even though I like learning, Auntie, it actually looks as if I like physical. I like to be seeing people in my life, You just say, and the clinical, maybe the next conference. My husband says to come for all the conference of our generation, she has gone for us. You get, as it just makes me come alive. I have a summit this weekend. I'm so excited. I'm moderating a session in another summit. I just love things like that. And so now all of us, we're now inside our phone. How do I manage it, Amanda? I can't go to Wimby's annual conference, as in I save up for it. I go every year because it's so impactful. But I love the people. I love the food. Oh, sorry, I'm a foodie, by the way. I love that. And then now, I love it. I just inside the phone. How do I do it? I'm listening.
You don't have a choice. You just have
okay.
When you are done, you can now take a break. You don't have a choice, actually.
Okay. Thank you. Nafisat, what's your question? Hi. Your microphone is still mute. Have you unmuted? Great. Your question. You are looking at me as if, now, any remote work, let them bring it, I'll kill it. Yeah? So what other challenges do you anticipate with remote working? There's Lagos. So data. Have you bought data in your life that that even the MTN told you that it was for 30 days that time? Who is still gawking that kind of thing on this call? Eh? Let me not even tell you my media, my data hack in this life. Nafisat, I'm listening to you. Contributions, questions, you're so sated. You already understand everything. Talk to us. Ezekiel, I'm coming to you.
Most of the things we actually discuss it's something that has actually been going on with me. So it's just as if I've just
been on that. We have a pro remote worker. O'Shea. I'm listening.
And for instance, now my boss is someone that likes to you must get things done. He hates when he calls you. Whenever he calls, he's always wanting you to be with your phone. Because it'll be like, if you're at the office, you'll be with your phone. So why are you not picking up? Why is distracting you? And all of that. So
I like that boss. He knows you guys. Yeah.
So,
okay.
Most of the time, so it's just as if I'm just reviewing everything that is happening. That's why I really don't have much questions.
Much to say. So you are inside the mara. You are inside the water like this. Okay. Ezekiel, I said I will call up on you next. Oluwaseyi, you are next after him because we'll be rounding up classes now. So Nafisat says she's inside the very water. She's swimming in the remote work. Yeah. And Amanda has gisted me about how to manage depression. Ezekiel, I am waiting on you. Ezekiel, I am waiting. Can Ezekiel hear me? Can somebody help me reach out to him? I saw him now. Please, this is part of why we don't like doing remote things. People will just ghost on you. Did he put picture? I saw him live physically. Uncle Ezekiel, please do something. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Who is in his group? Thank you.
Okay, ma.
Okay. The Ezekiel I'm talking to know himself. So there are two Ezekiels. The one that is this Ezekiel gong. Ezekiel, I want you to see. Thank you.
Sorry,
what is that?
I lost track of the question, but I didn't get the question.
Okay, so there wasn't a question I asked you. You see how people used to do in remote working. It's well. So I said, I have a question for the class, or you have a contribution, or because of your now new understanding, you have something to say to us. Either way, I want you to have the floor. There may be some new knowledge. Did I escape talking about something? Is there something that just, an aha moment, you just realize that, bams, now bring it on, Deloitte and Touche, I can work, What is it? What? There's no question per se. I'm saying that, did you have questions that were unanswered? Do you have a new insight that you may want to share? Or you want to just give us an overview of this class? Thank you.
Okay, ma. There was a guy that asked a question, I think Mr. Oluwato Singh. He said, how can one solve depression while working remotely?
Okay, and
from my point of view, I don't believe one can suffer depression while working remotely. My own point of view, I know it is possible, though I'm not saying it's not.
Should we tell him?
Hello?
Should we tell him? Hi. Okay, I'm listening.
Because I feel I'm going to be free while working remotely. It doesn't mean that I won't have issues or challenges, but I know that I will be calm and I will have that maximum level of concentration to tackle any form of data.
What personality type are you? Oluwatosin is shaking his head. He's shaking his head seriously, like, guy, you're not feeling me. You're not getting this. Have you ever had to feel like this we go the day? Did it still do you that time that they were threatening another lockdown? Like, do you know that another lockdown is imminent? Like, I make my money from people coming out. I don't care what you guys are saying on this call. Physical coming to the mall is how some of us are. And then they are threatening lockdown, and then lockdown 2, and COVID. What's that NCDC handle? And something, it didn't matter. So, Uncle said that he cannot be depressed. Should we tell him? Should we even just tell him already?
They should tell me. I would like to know.
Okay, so let me tell you, typically, I was asking that, what's your personality type? You can stay all day. When you were in school, you were on a few way. All of you like that. If you like, don't come out for 30 days. Go and kill the day. You're melancholic. Okay, let's forgive Ezekiel as we move on from class. He's male. Abajo. Forgive my vernacular. So he doesn't even understand those of us that talk, that come out. What are we doing? What are we doing with our life? Let's be serious for once. Uncle Ezekiel, I hope your wife will be bringing you out small when you marry. Because I don't like I don't like this kind of things. What's that? Okay, so let me talk from Poppy's angle as somebody who has felt I don't know. Okay, so I have been an entrepreneur, outright entrepreneur alone, and I've also worked on projects. I've worked with people. I also do moonlighting gigs. I work with project teams. And the times I've felt more alive are the times when I'm actually working with people. Do you get that? So these days, I try to tell you, so if my husband, for instance, says, if he was fashion and retail now, we understand. This one that you're talking to all these organs in tech. And I say that this is really what makes me come alive. Being able to share knowledge, being able to roll with you. I'm feeling like my day just got made. Doesn't matter what they do on that shop floor now when I get there. Since I already made my... So imagine how so depressing. Do you know that there are times when you choose the entrepreneurship and then everybody actually considers you jobless? It's not like your bank account is even helping them more. You are jobless. As in, because everybody will be going out, they'll say, ask Ezekiel, if he wants to rain, make sure you call Ezekiel on time, because you see the way it's raining now, you can't even know if he wants to rain. So all you have to do is call Ezekiel like 30 minutes. When you see that rain, like this, call Ezekiel. Do you know what it does to you to know that which day are you going to break through? In Africa, is there venture funding or all those startup things that we hear about, or all those techie things that make it noble to want to do your own thing, to want to say that I want to solve a problem? Or you're solving a problem. Do you know how many times speakers have to fight on honorariums or what you actually want? If you ask me what my what is, I think that if I talk for 30 minutes, somebody should just pay 500K. Yeah, sorry. That's my opinion. But is that the reality? No. So what it typically means is that there will be days when you will second guess yourself. Oh, 2 million, loudly. Yeah. So you would second guess everything that matters. And so I am here, I'm talking to my phone. At least that's what it looks like on the outside. I'm the one who knows that I've met wonderful people today, Christopher, Oluwatosin, Ezekiel, Amanda. Sorry, don't vex for me if I don't call your name, Kayode, Nafisa, Grace. I've met wonderful people. However, too many times, if you're being real, if you're being practical, there will be too many times when you just feel, my brother says, I didn't tell him all there was to entrepreneurship. That just made him see the glossy side. I say, you
that is still doing like this. You've not even started. He says, I spend money. I go to my studio. He's a photographer and I don't make money. Straight 5 days. Ugh, hello, welcome to my world. Yeah. So it means that you would be, everything that can test you will test you. And remote work is one of them. You are doing it. I just told you now. I planned my life now. See, my laptop is dead, right? What happened? The battery stopped working. Yes, you're there, inspiring trainer. My laptop's battery is not functioning and the fuel just went off. You really think that these things are not real? That it will not question? Do you know that if I was in Otto Anderson, it can't even happen? Like there's some smooth guy who's supposed to be in maintenance and you just do him a mail to say that, sorry, it just went dead. You should fix it so that you can treat the next project. Don't you get it? So all of this trying to make Nigeria work, that is not working. Because the reality is that I'm going to need to buy another fuel because maybe I have a class tomorrow. I'm moderating. Does not look at this, which is why I was looking at it. It's another conversation. At least now we know. So Ezekiel, this is me saying that depression. Okay, so maybe depression is a big word. Maybe it should be when you're feeling less than yourself, yeah? And it happens to the best of us. I am so upbeat. If you are feeling bad, just call me. Ask Adedapo for my number. If you are feeling anyhow, just call me. I always seem to have enthusiasm ready. As in, I'll tell you why you should choose your gratitude. Why some people died in January, I'll tell you, but there have been days when, what's happening? You get it? All right. So I hope I'll be able to confuse you and I convince you that it does happen. That as a solo worker, you're going to feel Oida, thank you. All right. One more question and then I'll hand over to Adedapo. I'm sure he's looking at me one kind like, sorry, I asked you to come and tell them about remote work. This one that you people are not special. All right, one more question or contribution and we'll call it a day. Okay.
Good day, ma.
Oh, Nafisa loves this session. Forget it too. Everybody is going to hear. All right. Ezekiel. Okay. Chiamaka. I'm a big vibe. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah. Now one more question or contribution, and so we can wrap up this class. Thank you. I'm seeing some people. They want to talk inside them. They want to talk. They really want to talk. Like Christopher, he wants to say something.
Good morning, ma.
Hi. Who's that?
Yeah, this is Hamid, ma.
Okay, Hamid, hi. You've been quiet. Thank God I used to be talking like this. So Hamid will never have said anything.
Yeah, I have a question, ma.
All right then.
Yeah, the question is this. I think I have a number of brothers around me who now work remotely, and they've had a number of comments since they began. Some of their colleagues laid off, probably because the company felt that they actually do not need their services. So because it became evident why they started working remotely that they probably do not need as much as the number of workers they had at their workplace before the whole thing began. So how exactly can one make himself indispensable, just invaluable to them, even while you start working remotely, so that or do one just have to make you have to go extra mile, make yourself uncomfortable for you to have yourself stay still on the job while working remotely? So that's my question.
This is so close to home. Okay, so can somebody first unmute themselves and answer Hamid? I have his answers, but I want to hear someone's perspective before we finish. I'm going to call names too. Oh yeah, now who wants to respond to Hamid? I have his answers, but I want to hear from one of them.
Okay, ma.
Yeah.
Ifedayo, ma.
Okay.
I'm privileged to have my pastor as a bank manager, and I asked him this question some weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the first thing he told me is this. It says, and it was the same thing you mentioned this morning. Number one, stability.
Yeah.
He says he wants to know that you are working.
Yeah.
He wants to know you are on your toes at every moment. He wants to send an email and get a reply almost instantly.
Okay.
It says Number two, it talks about value.
Yeah.
Talks about value. It says now looking at this time of remote work, it says there will be so much changes in the organization. It says, what if you contribute? What if you look beyond your own office, your own position, and look into the bigger picture? Okay, how can we make this organization trend? Even when there are so many issues with different companies at this time, how can we make it trend? How can we make our organization like move and then grow beyond this time? How can we make it bigger? How can we make things work here? It talks about value. So those two things were the two things he told me majorly: visibility and
So
value.
one, he wants you to be able to, he wants to see you working, because you know that we have the dirtiest work ethic in Nigeria. As that somebody will be chesting their inefficiency. They will say to you, you know, somebody will say to me that we can't kill ourselves. Hello, kill yourself. Because you see, you won't die when you are of value, right? And most of us do not get it. And we realize a little too late. You now finish from that same place and try to start up something. Uncle is waiting for you, all those things you did. It's not also, it's waiting. You know, so if your pastor actually says to you that, I like to see you working. That's why I said, if you truly work, after a while, the most surprising for me, I worked with a retail chain store and I was a shop floor manager. I wasn't a general manager. I was just on a certain shop floor. And all the people I thought I hated or wearing like cool or I didn't quite like, the minute I started my own gig, they were the most efficient people I could think of to poach. Not from that company. I mean, we had all moved on with life. And then when I think of the person who can be my accountant, it had to be Rosemary. She has the sanest integrity in this life. If we get overage, legal overage, she's not going to share in it. She's not going to stop us from sharing it if it's as in it's not for the company, somebody tipped us. She just said, don't just share. Who better than to handle my treasury than that girl? We have another person. She should just be working. She's my head of operations. Correct girl. Policy, she would ensure that compliance to the team. I have way too much heart to be the COO of my company. I'm not going to give everything away with one vibe. You get? So that part about you must work and it must be obvious. Do you get? Exactly. Performance, okay? So you must, there are KPIs, yeah, performance, image. I'd like to see the E, and exposure, visibility. Thank you, Kayode. So there's nothing like playing humble. There's nothing like all those humility things that let's not be. When I'm done with this class, okay, let me know, give you guys expo. But why would you not? The next person who's going to call me to facilitate needs to know that I am the energy in the room. I am the one you need, just in case your class was already flailing. I am the person you need. I'm a problem solver. Yeah, just talking like this. Forget it. Countries are being healed. Yeah. So I cannot play humble and say, let it not be like it's only me. What's that? So you just talk now. You perform. You have the right image. Can I shock you? For years, you see people who work who never make it to management level. They say management does not even call you up to their level unless you begin to look like one of them. Do you dress appropriately? Do you look like the image? Can you represent the company? When they send you for a business launch, do they trust that you will not be vibing something from and I'm being sincere here. So I like Big Brother Niger. I seem to think that plenty of people have opinions about it, which is okay. But if I bring you management lessons and social experiences as a result of putting adults together in a home, even you will listen as in the highest skeptic. But it means that I can make an informed decision from that point to say, when you put people together under social condition, this is what they will do. And I can relate it to life. I can even use it to make us sell. Also, I can say that it draws the crowd. If you know how I'm rooting for one of the companies that I manage, I'm rooting for them to have their adverts, have a brand agency design their adverts and put it on Big Brother Niger. They shouldn't put it in the beginning, that time that they don't know people. And they're like 7. The advert is always constant. That's when I need it, because all we need is brand positioning. And so maybe I even need to watch to be able to tell my boss, because my boss's values cannot even let him like talk about what's wrong with you. Like, why would you? So it means that visibility, exposure, having the right image, it matters, it counts for something, right? So back to Amit's questions. I know that we've been able to answer it from different angles, but I'd just like to quickly chip in. The people who are working remotely, plenty of jobs are still going to be lost. So, hello, I hope we know. Plenty jobs is like this, is long. You see, where I currently, my daily gig right now, my 9 to 5, when they are complaining, somebody from church told me that his take home is no longer enough to take him home. What that means is that they slashed the pay, right? Maybe they halved it. So maybe it was on one paltry salary before, and then they now halved the salary. And I told him that your own is good, oh brother. What did they do? They just halved your salary. I said on my own shop floor, they are beefing me because I am management. You know those letters that you have to write when we have to touch people's salary. You know those letters? In light with recent happenings and with the state of the nation, management has deemed it. You know that letter. You know, say you know the NDA. You know. And then my signature is under. You know how many people, my life, just be praying for me. Be praying for me because they feel, I want GM, they are the ones. But I had to, it was a tough decision. Can I also shock you further? While some people, their money was so small, their money was so small, we couldn't remove 50%. Guess the people who they remove 50% from? Hallelujah. They had to remove, they said, management people, your salary is plenty, so we can remove half. And I was inside that meeting, and I was the one that had to effect that change. Right? So basically, one word I'll like, be value. There's only so long that you even get something higher. There's only so long as your value. While I'm there trying to say, oh, if I decide to chill on this job, it will be for loyalty over the next something. I did that for waiting for you.
Are you done?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Morenike Amusu. In fact, your energy was contagious. Like I was laughing sheepishly at the back.
Thank you.
And it was really, really, really nice. Although I could get the energy from the chat we've been having, but I didn't know that it was going to be more expressive like this. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's a pleasure.
Virtual session, and it was really nice to have you. And the good thing about your session is why it was hilarious, why it was engaging, it was also straight to the point, insightful, and also you were able to engage them as much as possible throughout the session. And that is what we really look out for during our sessions. You were able to carry them through. Although it might seem like a simple session, but these are some of the things that people don't really know that they need until they are told to do these things, and you were able to do that throughout your session. We say thank you, and thank you again for calling you on a short notice. We actually reached out to you very on that short notice, and you were able to make the class engaging and all. In fact, we really appreciate you. Thank you very, very, very much.
You're welcome.
I will be giving you feedback, the participant feedback. Someone will follow up with you. After this class, we'll give you feedback and we'll reach out to you concerning any other information we'll be giving to you. But I would like two participants to actually thank her. Just unmute my thank her. I'm sure you've enjoyed the class as much as I have.
I did enjoy the class.
Thank you. So two people should just. Are we having anyone?
They want to break my heart. Oh my heart has been broken.
Are we having anyone? Hello?
I can see people are muting their mics, or maybe they are shy, or they are just smiling at me. But don't put pressure on anybody, yeah?
All right. Okay, so in the absence of that, then that will be the end of the class. Someone wants to speak?
Okay, Abib said, Abib was thinking, you want to, these are time moments. Okay, hi, Abib. Hi, Abib.
Hello, Ma. Is it
Hi, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, actually, I love your energy. That's the first thing. Your energy, the vibe you bring to this lesson today. I've learned a lot from you, the essence of remote working. I love the way you smile. Everything is just on point. Like, so you really brought out the best in us. You made the session lively and it was awesome. Yes, thank you very
for
very
your kind
much.
words, Habib. I do not take you for granted.
We hope to connect with you more. I personally will connect with you myself.
Oh,
So
Shay, let's go connecting. It's a virtual world.
all right, ma.
Okay. Yeah. Adedapo, you can have the floor. The class should end
Okay,
now.
thank you very much. I will connect with you too, so I'm not left out of this positive vibe, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. And thank you for giving us 2 hours of your salary. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Everybody was helping me to calculate that. Like, really, madam?
Thank you very much.
Oh, God. Yeah, this is purpose. This is what we should be doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome. Okay, I have to leave now.
You can go, ma. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm trying to leave the platform now.
No problem.
Okay.
Good.
All righty.
Hello, everyone. Hope you guys really enjoyed that class. I think it was full of positive energy. I think it's a good way. It's a good way to close the session after we had that long 1 month of lectures going from one to another. I think that positive vibe was actually needed. I actually love the positive energy this session brought to us. So hope you guys got the information I shared about your project. If you didn't get it, maybe you were not online as at the time I spoke about the project. I'll go over it again. So the project is expected, we've shifted the deadline from this week to next week, Monday, 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Sorry. You are expected to have submitted the project by 10 a.m. on Monday. This is to allow you guys work throughout the weekend with the project to finalize, to give it the final touch, because there is a certain high standard of work that we expect from you. And we also understand that you might need time to put things in place. So we are giving you till Monday, 10 a.m. to put the final touches, put the nails to the coffin, and submit the assignment by 10 a.m. Then on Tuesday, you guys will be doing the official presentation of the project that you have submitted. So I'll give you the time, how the presentation will go, the modalities of the presentation. I'll let you know about that, right? So, and also try and fill your feedback forms for each one. If you have missed any attendance, this is time to go back to the YouTube replay and watch the replay, fill the report, fill the gap network feedback. And the data allocation, like I said, will be done latest tomorrow. We'll do the data allocation tomorrow, looking at the data we have from the attendance, from the feedback, from the report you've sent if you've missed the class. Also, we'll also be taking into consideration how active you've participated in your different group projects in awarding the data. So these are some of the things that we will be taking into consideration when allocating the data. So this is some of the things. The class for this session has ended, but we'll still be coming back for another class for 1 o'clock to 3 a.m., which will be data analysis and application of data, which will be taken by Mr. Charles. So Mr. Charles will be taking you on that session, data analysis and application of data. Since you know that it is going to be a very practical data, I would encourage you guys to have writing pads or have your laptops on and things like that, because you will be working with a little bit of data to be able to make the class as practical as possible. So I want you to prepare for that class. It's one of the most practical class that we'll be having throughout the Gap Network session. So I want you to prepare for that class. So the class will hold from 1 to 3 o'clock. So let's go now so that you can rest and prepare for the next class. So we'll come in by 1. The link still remains the same. Do you have any suggestion? Do you have any questions before we come back for the 1 o'clock class? Anybody wants to speak? Are we there? Any suggestion, any complaint, any questions so far? Okay. Since no one is speaking, then this will be the end of this session. Then we'll come back. See you guys at 1 o'clock. Bye for now.